Seamless. Good evening and welcome to Gooner Gathering. That was the first mistake of the episode and we're, 30 seconds in? Get in there. My name is Posh Bertie, the poshest man in all of sports entertainment. And Mr. Meadows, my usual broadcast colleague, the founding father of Gooner Gathering, is not here today, but that's all right because I am going to steady the ship here and talking about all things Arsenal Football Club. And it's fair to say that it's been pretty big news today, as finally, after what seems like about a million years, Arsenal have finally managed to pull their finger out and have managed to actually announce a player. I know it's a miracle, and it is, of course, Mr. Jurrien Timber. Seamless. No mistakes whatsoever. And also, Jordan, good to see you as well in the chat. Arsenal finally signed one Jurrien Timber, and it's obviously this announcement came about and I remember this, was June the 19th. It was the evening of my birthday. I just got home from A, meeting Lee Meadows in person, and B, coming home from the cricket. I was very drunk, and I realised that, Arsenal have put in a bid for a player that was heavily linked with Man United. David Ornstein said it, so it must be true. Yeah. Okay, big surprise, and here we are. He has finally been confirmed. Arsenal have properly announced him. Jurrien Timber is officially an Arsenal Football Club player. Never in doubt, says Gooner Gathering. Never in doubt, indeed. Yeah, this is a very good signing. Obviously, I don't watch a lot of Ajax games, so at first I didn't know much about him. I have a friend who's a big Man United fan, and he was saying how United needed to get Timber. He's not called me for a while, so he's probably a bit mad. But we've signed him now. West Ham we'll get to that. Arsenal forever. West Ham, yes, I know. We'll get to that. We will get to that. We're talking about Timber at the moment. I'm pleased with the signing. Obviously, we need a bit of defensive cover if Saliba gets injured again. And Timber's quite a similar player, kind of a high line kind of player. Very similar to how Saliba plays. And yeah, it's a good addition. And I'm pleased we finally announced him. My mind's gone blank here. Timber, yeah, I thought, obviously, as the transfer window began, he was going to go to somewhere else. That's what I was going to say. I've not watched many Ajax games, if not at all. So I've had to do my research on Timber via all these compilation videos on YouTube. And he looks very good. He's a very Arsenal-type player. Pacey defender like Saliba and Gabriel, and not holding. High-line player. He looks quite good. I think he's much better as a centre-back than a right-back, but he can play in both positions, which is always nice. We like a bit of versatility in the squad. Take Trossard, for example. And now Timber. We've got versatile players, both in attack and in defence, which is very nice. I'm looking forward to see what he does in an Arsenal shirt. I'm going to give him a chance. I think I expect good things, and I hope he will produce good things, because I've heard that he's a very good player. Now, Timber's out the way. We are waiting very patiently on another addition to the team, a certain West Ham United midfielder who shares a surname with a side order that you have with chicken. With Timber in, does it mean that we get rid of the dead wood? Oh, Gooner Gathering back at it again with the jokes. I hope so, because the only deadwood we've sold is Pablo Murray and Granit Xhaka to an extent. I wouldn't call him the deadest of deadwood, but it was the right time for him to go. Hey, Gooner Gathering. Hey, Jordan Hyman LFC. I saw you in the chat. Good to see you here. We do need to get rid of the deadwood in the squad, all jokes aside. We've not done that. Players like Tavares, Cedric, who I'll talk about in a minute. They need to get gone, I think, in my opinion. We're waiting on Declan Rice. That's what I was going to talk about. As Arsenal Forever said, apparently West Ham have still not received the paperwork from Arsenal lawyers for them to sign. They said from today, they said it was going to be done in the next 24 hours. It's not been 24 hours exactly yet. I don't know what's going on. No one knows what's going on. I pray to the good Lord above that I hope that he is an Arsenal player tomorrow. It's still paperwork, even though what you might be saying could be true. Day's not over yet. It's still likely that the paperwork and everything else could be completed today. I hope so, because this saga has gone on forever and I just want it to end. And I want it to end with Declan Rice in an Arsenal shirt. That's all done. All of that is good. I think I just really, tomorrow, just end the saga, get Declan Rice in an Arsenal shirt, get it all done, and we can move on and focus on offloading players, like maybe potentially loaning or even getting rid of one Fabio Vieira. I'd loan Fabio Vieira, in my opinion. Loan him out to the gym, maybe. We'll talk about the preseason match in a minute. But we want to. It's clear that we're still looking to get some more players, even after Declan Rice, and we've spent an almighty chunk of that budget, though. So we're going to have to sell to buy. It's that case, and there's a lot of players in that squad that need to go. Obviously, Pablo Mari has gone. I'm talking about Tavares, Lokonga, Cedric, Rob Holding. We had Besiktas put in a 2.5 million, which is apparently getting rejected. I don't know why. Personally, Rob Holding, as I said on Twitter, is worth £2.50 and a packet of Frazzles, and that's just me being very generous. But if we can get some money for Rob Holding, even if it's little money, and just get him out the door, that would be great, because he's not good enough. Plain and simple. We need a better defensive cover than Robert Holding. He did score a goal at the Etihad, though, but that's about it that season. He's not the type of player that suits Arteta's system, even though he tried to get him to be a player that would fit his system. It just didn't work, so we need to get rid of Holding. So, yeah, lots of dead wood, as Gooner Gathering said, that needs to be cleared out of the squad in order to get some more players. And we could potentially, if I have the picture, in fact, I'm going to do a bit of live admin. There's a picture that I want to show you of how we could potentially line up next season, and maybe how I would do it. Money for Holding would be Rice. Sorry, stop thinking about Rice, Schooner Gathering. Eat your own dinner. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you. This is how Arsenal could potentially line up next season. If we're going to steal Pep's new formation there, we might have Saliba, Gabriel, Ramsdale in goal, obviously. Have Saliba, Gabriel and Timber in a back three. Maybe have Tierney there. Tierney and Timber can maybe swap around, because I'd like to see Tierney stay at the club, and he can play at centre-back. That would be nice. Rice in midfield, which I hopefully, fingers crossed, he gets signed tomorrow. And I would move Zinchenko into midfield. He is a much better midfielder than he is a left back. He's more suited to that. You can tell he wants to be in midfield with all this inverted nonsense going on. Saka and Martinelli on the wing, technically as wing backs, but more attacking. No, they're more attacking players. Odegaard and Havertz as the more central attacking midfielders, and Gabriel Jesus up front. That's how we could potentially line up next season. And I made that as a lineup builder. Very nice. If it was up to me, I'd probably replace Havertz with Smith Rowe, because I like a bit of ESR action, and I never really wanted Havertz, but he is an Arsenal player, and he's probably going to be in the first team more often. So this could be an option for Arteta to use. Whether it will happen or not, I don't know. But that's something that I came up with. I used my somewhat creative vision. And that's what could happen next season. Anyway, I'm rambling on too much. Let's switch topics here and talk about that yesterday. Let's talk about yesterday. And we are going to get onto this topic. Yesterday, we saw the Arsenal back in action against Nuremberg. We faced the Nuremberg trial. Anyway, we faced Nuremberg in Germany. And was it in Germany? Was it in Nuremberg? I don't know. Or was it in a neutral ground? I'm not sure. But this was the first time we've played a game, obviously, since the season ended. Yes, I know it was a pre-season friendly. I didn't really watch the whole game because it's a pre-season friendly, and I don't really care that much because it doesn't mean a lot. As established in the second half, where we pretty much took off we had a lot of starting 11 players in the first half. And then come the second half in that game, we rotated the entire squad, put in a lot of academy players, and I think that was... The game doesn't mean much, but it does make me think, if we get some injuries, which we'll talk about, if we get some injuries this season and we have to rely on a certain number of players, like Vieira, for instance, then I don't want to say we're screwed, but again, it was in Germany. Wunderbar. Danke. Let's just talk about the game. So the first half happened. We had a lot of starting 11 players in and a couple rotation options there. Smith Rowe, of course, wasn't playing because I think he's just recovered from winning the under-21s World Cup, I think it is. Or was it the Euros with England? And my mind's gone blank. Matt Turner, of course, wasn't there because he is on international duty with the US of A. So we had Karl Heinz as the backup keeper who came on in the second half for Ramsdale. We scored in the first half very early on through Saka. Just let him rest, Don't let him just take the pre-season off. Let him rest, please. Let's not get a Saka injury already. But it's good to see him on the score sheet anyway, and it was a lovely goal as well. I don't know why Rice is taking ages. I just talked about that, and it will be tomorrow. Like I said, people will still expect the paperwork to be completed by the end of the day. Still, I do think, hopefully, it'll be tomorrow. But it's all like, he is an Arsenal player. We just got to get all the niggly bits over the line. And hello, Luca. Good to see you, Luca. I'm talking about the Nuremberg game. Saka scored a lovely goal in the first half. Then nothing else happened. Half-time, we rotated. It would be the most Arsenal thing to ever happen, and it would be so laughable if it did. But we'll have to wait and see. I don't think it can't. No, I don't think it will. I think it should be announced tomorrow. But I'm not talking about that at the moment. I'm talking about the friendly match. We rotated the entire squad in the second half, and let's talk about. No, we'll start with the positives. Talk about Nwaneri, Ethan. We'll talk about Ethan, right? 16 years old. He was fantastic. He did look very impressive. And yeah, he looked a lot better than Fabio Vieira. Granted, that's not saying a lot, but I thought he looked quite good. He's definitely one for the future, isn't Nwaneri, and I'm pleased we got him down on a good contract because he seems very promising, and he didn't go to Chelsea or Man United like they were hunting for him, but he's with us, and he looked very impressive in the friendly game. I think what annoyed me about the second half yesterday, Arteta's tactics were questionable. It's a pre-season friendly at the end of the day. This was the first game back in absolutely ages, and he rotated the entire squad to get everyone else to have minutes in the second half. Like a lot of those players, like Karl Hein, for example, I can't see him featuring in the first team at all. So, and people do this in pre-season. They rotate the squad a lot, try new things that don't end up working. I wouldn't fret about it too much. It's not an important game. It's a pre-season. It's not it's not a Premier League game or anything. People experiment a lot in pre-season. It happens. What I didn't like though is the equalising goal, which I did see. Once again, passing it out from the back, only to then have Jorginho pass it straight back to the keeper and put it in his own net. Are we going to see more goals like that next season? I hope not. Surely we'd learn by now. But that was a terrible error from Jorginho and Karl Heinz as well. Heinz tomato ketchup in goal there. Yeah, I don't really rate him. Hein and Runnison should be gone. And Cedric, we shouldn't be terminating Pepe's contract. It should be Cedric's contract we should be terminating at the end of the day. He is not good enough. And when I started back in the days of Cannon Chatter, even like when I wasn't doing Arsenal YouTube, I was saying how Cedric is just, back then when he was regularly starting for us, I said he was an average player, bang average, not setting the world on fire. And people kept saying to me, "Oh, what are you on about? Cedric, he's all right. He's a good player." Well, after seeing, I know I'm contradicting myself there when I said it's a pre-season game and it doesn't matter, but I've seen plenty of times where Cedric just does not do it for me. And I think it's time for him to move on to another club, if any club would take him. If Besiktas could take Rob Holding, then surely, I mean, look, Saudi Arabia are taking everyone. Let's just get Edu to fly out to Saudi Arabia. Say, look, this is Cedric. This is Rob Holding. This is Tavares. You can have them. Play them with Ronaldo. I'm sure Ronaldo can learn a few things from Sambi Lokonga. I think Ronaldo's team were banned from signing players. I think I saw something about that. I don't know. Arsenal Manic, good to see you as well. We were just talking about the pre-season match. I was saying, yes, it wasn't the best result, but it's a pre-season game. It doesn't really matter at the end of the day. I wouldn't fret about anything. Some of the players that played in the second half, like the academy players, I don't expect to see in the first team. And Nwaneri looked good, as I mentioned. Fabio Vieira, Karl Hein and Cedric didn't. But then again, in other news, the sky is blue. Speaking of blue, we had a very bad team out anyway. Language, Timothy. We did. No worries, pal. We did. Like I said, pre-season. The nitty gritty, the real deal starts against City in the Community Shield. That's when the season properly starts. And you can catch myself and Lee Meadows, more than likely, doing a watch along of the Community Shield in August on this here channel, youtube.com/Gooner Gathering. I mentioned the sky being blue there. There was a video that Arsenal put out today on their social media of Timber meeting Edu and Arteta, I think it was. And it was a beautiful sunny day. Sky was blue. It was like we were in Marbella. It was beautiful. But today, if it couldn't have been done today, it's been raining. I'm wearing long sleeves today. So, that was, the Timber deal was probably done days ago, because unless Arsenal's training ground is in Spain and they've just moved places without us knowing, the Timber video there couldn't have been done today. It was done a few days ago, maybe a week ago, and they were just holding us up lots and lots and lots of times. Didn't know Havertz was playing yesterday. That's how bad his performance was. Hey, again, pre-season. We'll see how Havertz does when look, as I've been saying time and again, Arsenal forever. Havertz is someone I didn't want, but he is an Arsenal player now, whether we like it or not. For the sake of supporting my team, I want him to do well. He has had one game, so I'm not saying get rid of him just yet. I think that's a bit. I'm going to see how he does when we get to the important games. Of course, he'll be there. I'll be there. First game of our season, Community Shield, Gooner Gathering watch along. So we talked about Timber signing for us, which is great. We talked about the ongoing saga of Declan Rice. Fingers crossed he is announced tomorrow. We talked about the pre-season match and Nwaneri looking brilliant. Cedric looking poor. Hein looking poor. Terrible own goal. Great goal from Saka. Game is a bit meh. Pre-season games, as I said before. I don't know if there's anything else to mention. So Odegaard was actually, I mentioned Fabio Vieira. He was a last-minute replacement for Martin Odegaard because, according to various sources, he picked up a slight injury. He picked up a bit of a knock. I don't know how severe the injury is. We've not heard anything from it. I hope he's all right. I hope it's just a little knock and he's fine, ready to go for our next pre-season games, and hopefully ready to go for our proper games of the season. So we've not heard anything from it. So I don't think it's something to be concerned about. I want to talk about how we had a lot of first team players in, and we started with Kivior at left back. I actually thought Kivior looked all right. He didn't disappoint too much. He did quite good in the left back position, but Kieran Tierney once again being second fiddle when we were told that he'd be, well, it was rumoured he'd be having a big part in the squad, maybe in a back three, but I don't want him. He's one of the best left backs in the league, and I genuinely believe that. We need to see a lot more of Kieran Tierney going into next season, because I don't want him gone. It'll be a huge waste because he's really good and not a silly inverted defender either. So I'm hoping he gets proper good minutes in pre-season, but we'll have to wait and see. I think that's it. I'm gonna again live admin. Is that all, or is there anything anything else that I need to discuss? Putting my our founding father, who's in the chat here, I'm putting him on the spot. Martin Odegaard just needs to put some right. You are obsessed. Are we linked with any strikers or not? No. No, not that I know of. Oh, apparently we're linked with Mbappe, and then we'll wake up. Apparently, all these things about Mbappe coming to Arsenal. I hate to burst your bubble, but I don't think it's going to happen. People talk about, the Arteta pull. He managed to convince Rice to not join Bayern Munich and Man City. It's going to take a lot to get to convince Mbappe to join Arsenal, but I don't think he'll be an Arsenal player. We need a striker. Nketiah. Balogun missed a sitter, by the way. It is me going, Balogun needs to start. He's really good. And he goes and misses 2 sitters. That's what I was forgetting. But, hopefully that won't happen again. Hopefully he hasn't left his shooting boots in France. And he'll be a lot better. Thank you very much. And that is all. We'll be back when the Rice story boils over. Yes. Hopefully that's tomorrow. Hopefully tomorrow we will be back doing a video. I will be back tomorrow, hopefully with a big bowl of rice in my hand, and I'll be eating it live on stream, talking about how Declan Rice is a gooner. Please. I hope that gets done tomorrow. That is all. That's all today. It was just a bit of a short video. But we had about 6 people tuning in, watching me rambling on, repeating myself. That's actually not too bad. But oh no, that's the wrong one. You can follow me on Twitter at PoshBertie and Instagram at BertieWanless. You can follow all of our lovely team members here on Gooner Gathering, Gooner Lee Meads as well, who is in the chat, supporting me on my own, trying to carry this here stream. But it was fun. It'll be magnificent. I'll be, me eating food on stream. It'll be a Gooner Gathering mukbang. Anyway, enough of that. I'm done now. Follow us on Twitter and subscribe to our channel at Gooner Gathering. Take care and